as well as a young child's rights advocate. Young child's rights advocate.
Yes.
Yeah, the S's are too many.
Yes, I have a lot of titles.
A lot of titles at such a young age.
Yeah.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for having us.
And thank you, really, for coming by today. I'm just going to start with you. What is it like being a child in this country?
Being a child in this country,
yes,
it's quite challenging.
Is it?
It is. Because, as for me, I'm a child rights advocate. And basically, I've been advocating for the rights of the children since I was 13 years old.
All right.
And we find that it's quite challenging because you post challenges that children go through. You do stories on challenges that children are going through across the country.
Yeah.
And you talk to some of the government officials, you talk to some of the NGOs that you feel might support these challenges or might come up with solution to help these challenges. But you find that they don't help. And you find that in turn children just keep suffering on and on. I mean, I'm sure if you go back to my high school, you can people can attest that I used to complain a lot.
Okay. You were that ka student.
I was that ka student that they used to mention. Like, because I mean, there's and I used to have a friend who used to actually do this together. I mean, for a school schedule, for example, for a child's for a school schedule, like a timetable, I don't get the use of having a timetable for a child to follow from morning to evening, and there was not even a child say in creation of that timetable or creation of that schedule. You tell the child to eat for 10 minutes. I mean, the child was not even there to tell you the experience of actually eting for just that 10 minutes. But then at the same time, it's also quite fun being a child in Kenya.
Right? You know, majority of the times, people say, oh, what do you have to complain about? Your rent is being paid, you're given food, you're taken to school. Like, there's someone who is responsible for you just being here. What you need to do is just live and be a child. But again, I'm happy that we have you to really just help us really understand what is it like being a child in this country. But at the same time, I mean, there are different aspects that you've brought about that I think is very important. And that is the fact that we don't, sort of like children do not have a say. It's like whatever mom says, whatever the teacher says, whatever the government says, whatever whoever else says, that is what a child needs to follow. But what about them? What about what is it that they need? What is it, that they can contribute to us saying, listen, I get what you're saying, but we can do it this other way, right?
Because we don't get to see, we don't get to get this from the child's perspective. Basically, child participation itself. And I want to congratulate the New Children's Act, which has a section.
It's been a long time coming.
We've really waited. Finally, we have a section on child participation, and I actually want to congratulate that. So, I mean, if children are going through, and we go through a lot of challenges, we do go through a lot of challenges.
We'll look into the challenges.
We'll look into them
in just a moment. Right now, and of course, you're also here to just help us really understand and paint that picture for us. Because, like I said earlier on, the perception is you're a child, just be a child. Wachia is vitu zingine decision making but sometimes it's not good for the children. All right, and of course, Connie is just listening to what Omar is saying, that being a child in this country is challenging. Nobody involves us in anything. You just expect us to live, and we're not okay with children in this case. They're not okay with some of these things that are being sort of like imposed on them, but then they have no choice but just to follow those things. I mean, what do you make of that?
Thank you very much, Winnie, for the opportunity to discuss this subject. We are in a country, we are in Africa, first of all, and a country like Kenya, for the longest time we've considered, that children should not be heard; they should just be seen. And I think one of the things that people like me are doing is to ensure that we give children an opportunity to speak for themselves, for them to be heard, for them to be able to express their feelings, and just to be part of the conversation and to be part of decision making, because years are changing and a lot is happening. And if we don't involve children in things affecting them, then we are going to have a very dangerous generation in future. We are going to have a generation that is not really concerned about what's happening around them, because they feel like they have been excluded in decision making. And you know, you'll see that even at home, when you're growing up, when you see something that you've not been involved, you feel like, you know, that is not mine, that is theirs. Yeah. But when you
sort of like detach yourself
yes,
from,
you detach yourself from it. But if when you make a decision, when you're part of a decision, it becomes easy for you to, you know, to accept it, to be part of it. You feel okay with it. You feel like, you know, these people have appreciated you, the fact that they have involved you in a decision. So it becomes very difficult even for a child to break a rule that, you know, they participated in making. Yeah, you realize that from that homestead level at home.